So what's the deal with this uniquely colored rare Bionicle mask? Well, let's discuss the history behind this mask and all of its unique variants as well. And we'll also highlight how you could use this in your own LEGO creations. Let's get stuck into it. So this unique mask is the Poisoned How. It's Tahu Nuva's iconic mask, but it has this gorgeous green marbled pattern through it. So these blended greens and reds, they represent the infected mask that was worn by Tahu during the events of the Bionicle Mask of Light movie. In the movie, Tahu fights the Rakshi Layrak, and he poisons his mask while they fight. Yeah, honestly, this is such a beautiful mask with a really stunning color to it. Now, this was apparently originally packaged with a bundle of Bionicle books, but later down the line it was replaced with a different mask, and this was the golden mask that we see on Lacan, which is a lot more common than this exclusive mask was. But I've also heard that this was available with copies of the Mask of Light movie, although I didn't really find any confirmation for that while I was doing research for this video, so take that with a grain of salt. I just heard a few people claiming that that's how they got it. But the main way that you could get this was with this set. It's called Vakama Promotional Set. Inside, you got a Bionicle comic and a nice poly bag with Turaga Vakama inside it, and of course, this mask. I actually think this is a really fun little promotional item. I would have loved to have had this back in the day. Sadly, if you want one right now, there are none for sale on Bricklink. But the mask is definitely for sale on Bricklink. However, one interesting thing about this mask is that there are 4 different variants of it. Now, each of these different masks are produced with different molds, each one having a different part number. But the shape of the mask, they're all identical. However, the areas where the color is injected into the mold, that bit is different. So the 4 variants look a little bit like this. Type 1 has a green forehead, and it looks a little something like this. The next variant is Type 2, which has a red forehead. And then Type 3, it has a stripe down the forehead. And finally, Type 4, it has this double green forehead. Now, many places, like Bricklink for example, they don't really differentiate between the 2 green forehead styles, that being Type 1, this one, and Type 4, this one. Now, the reason Bricklink doesn't differentiate between these 2 is because they look relatively similar, but you can noticeably see the larger amount of green on one of them versus a smaller amount on the other. Oh, by the way, these images are taken from the Mask of Destiny website. I'll include a link to that website below in the description. Be sure to check it out. There's a good article there that talks a bit about these masks. Now, I only own one of this mask. Specifically, I own Type 3 with the stripe down the middle. Hopefully I can get the other variants sometime in the future. Having a nice full collection of these, that's pretty cool, isn't it? But how much do these masks cost? Well, each one varies in price. Type 1, with its green forehead, on Bricklink it sells for about 15 Australian dollars, which is roughly 10 American dollars. And since Bricklink classifies Type 1 and Type 4 as the exact same piece, both of them sell for the same price. Type 2 with its red forehead is roughly the same price, but it can sell for a little bit more. So it's more like 20 Australian dollar dues or 13 USD. Type 3 with its stripe down the middle, that goes for about 25 to 30 Australian dollars. So like 20 USD. So yeah, a little bit all over the place. And you know, it's still a lot for one Lego piece, but comparatively to some other very rare Bionicle masks, it's a little bit on the cheaper side. You have some masks selling for like hundreds or thousands of dollars, so this is a little bit more reasonable. And you know, hey, I love that Lego decided to make variants of this piece. It just makes it more special. I mean, imagine you and your friend, you both get one of these promotional items. And you take the masks out and both of your masks are a little bit different. It just makes you feel a little bit more special. It makes the mask feel a lot more rare. It's yours, it's your own unique thing. I just love that. I hope that more modern Lego promotions do something like this. So look, this mask is very, very special and it just looks really cool. But what if we wanted to use it in our own creations? Well, a builder called Poor Disadvantaged, he's built an incredible mock here called Ravager, and it uses this mask. I love this because it takes the idea of being poisoned or infected, an idea that was present on the original mask, and it turns it into something wild and crazy cool. So you can see this red character. This isn't Tahu, by the way, this is actually a Dark Hunter character. But yeah, you can see their red original body, and then you can see all these green elements that literally look like they're consuming him, growing over him, eating into his chest, crawling up his back. It's brilliant. And the inclusion of this mask, it ties this whole concept together perfectly. It's like they looked at this mask and then built the mock based off of it. It's so influential to this design. And that's the power of a good Bionicle mask, or a rare one like this. It can sometimes be the perfect impetus to get you building and get you excited to make something new. That's why I love rare parts, man. So many good building opportunities in them. Now, some pieces in this that pair very well with this mask and its unique aesthetic include these Invasion from Below egg pod pieces in green. These come on a set much like Queen Beast, for example. We also see some nice marbled Karzani chest armor pieces, which of course come on the lovely set Karzani. But yeah, both of these give off this really gross, overgrown, wild aesthetic that looks so like disgusting, and it's just the perfect way to convey this infected feeling. If you want to do something similar to this, I recommend getting a couple of those pieces, because they really sell this idea. And they complement the mask just perfectly. Honestly, dude, this might be one of the best uses of this mask ever. And actually, not many people have built MOCs that use this mask. So hey, go grab one off a Bricklink right now and build something sick with it. And now we have a MOC by Cameron, and it's called Shadow Lord Tahu. Now, this is using a Hal Nuva mask, but this one is marbled red and trans clear. Now, this is by no means an official mask like the one we've been talking about. Cameron was lucky enough to get a prototype mask here, or maybe like a non-production part, which has a very distinct, unique coloration to it. This would be a very expensive mask if you wanted to buy it. However, there's probably not many of these available, you know, since they never appeared in any sets. But hey, look, the idea of a black armored Tahu wearing this cool variant of the mask, well, there's no reason you couldn't just take this exact idea and then put the red and green version on instead of this one. I think it would achieve a very similar look, and it would still look really, really cool. You know, maybe the poison has infected Tahu and turned him evil and now he looks like this. It's a cool idea. And maybe you don't even need to go for a more darker color scheme like this one has. Why not just build a nice revamp of Tahu Nuva, change up the armor a little bit, buff up his torso, whatever, and put this mask on him? I think it would look pretty cool. Hey, I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities for you to do really good stuff if you have this mask. So yeah, if you don't have one, go out and get one. I think it would be another fine addition to your collection. And it is somewhat affordable as well. Now also, be sure to check the links in the description below. I've included links to all the builders that I featured today, as well as that article that I mentioned before. So go and check out all of that stuff and see some of the other awesome creations that those people have built. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.